down with OTC? Down with OTC. OTC. Are you down with OTC? Are you down with OTC? OTC. Are you down with OTC? Down with OTC. Down with OTC.
Good evening. Good evening. Good evening. Welcome to On the Chain. On the Chain. This is the round table here on the chain. This is Jeff here with co-host Chip. You guys know us. We are going to get into, you probably already guessed it, but we're going to talk a little bit about Ripple, a little bit about the XRP. We might even touch the Bitcoin, but we are going to cover some tweets that John Deaton recently put out. One of them, he said, all cryptocurrency and digital assets beware. So we want to dig in and figure out what that means. We're going to talk a little bit about the Fidelity ETF, Bitcoin ETF, a possible Bitcoin inflection point based on a Soros fund manager. Man, I see another one here, Bitcoin getting to 400,000. There's so much going on. And then there was even something with our buddy Ray Dalio that Chip dug up that we thought would be really cool to talk about.
And it all starts right now.
Right now.
And now, the roundtable with Jeff and Chip on the chain.
Whoa, and we're back.
And we're back. Hey, I want to do a big shout out to everybody that came to the On the Chain meetup, the virtual meetup we had today. It was slated to go 2 hours. We ventured into 3-hour territory. It was a phenomenal meetup. We had, a lot of great people. I mean, most are in the chat right now, but I got to tell you, it was really great to be sitting in some of these. It's like a virtual table. So you see a table from overhead, you click on a seat and you're in there. And I think there's like maybe 6 to 8 people per table, and people were moving around. And James Rule XRP was there. We had Crypto Eddie was there, and we were actually graced by Matt Hamilton, Ripple employee. So he was in there like laying down the knowledge. It was really amazing to be in a room with him. And I know Sir John was there, and I know a bunch of others were there. I know Rob McDermott and Professor XRP and APEC. Just
Sir John.
Yeah, they were all there, and they were all doing their talking. It was just really fantastic. I really enjoyed it. Really enjoyed hanging out with everybody. Mel G was there as well, and it was cool. It was just a lot of fun. But it was great because I really got to ask him some really poignant questions. And Sir John, he actually stumped him with one of his. He says he's not very tech minded, but then he lays down some serious tech questions. So it's like
boom.
You're like, oh, Matt actually said, hey, I don't know. I'll kind of get back to you. But it was a lot of fun, and we're gonna do it again, and we'll let you guys know when the next one is going to be in April, probably like around the third weekish of April or something. But we're gonna continue doing these. We're also gonna be doing some other cool things too. We're gonna be introducing a couple of different things. Jeff and I have been working on some stuff, so we're creating a merch store, and the reason is because I want to wear our merch. I want to wear our own stuff. That's number one. But also, people have said, "Hey, man, you guys can we buy this or a hat or something?" I'm like,
water bottle.
How about a water bottle? Who said that in the chat, by the way? Was that John Doe? Who was that?
John Doe.
Interesting.
John Donut.
Interessante. So, we'll preview that one, by the way. So that's been in the works for a little bit, but you'll be able to get all kinds of cool stuff.
And yeah, we are actually working on designing, some interesting things. One of them, that we're working on, does have something that kind of goes like this.
I was like wondering, why were you just gassing everybody with like the low, with the very like what's the word, low energy? You're like, yeah, we're gonna be doing this, and then and then you just like nailed us there,
Hey man, there was a little bit of good news out of the Suez Canal today that they actually moved the boat a fraction. It kind of moved out of the way. And you know what I did? I went back and I said, you know what? It's been around. You brought it up since 1869. They dug the Suez Canal. It closed twice. Because of war, and then it closed 3 or 4 times because of other boats kind of going off track, getting stuck. One was due to a major windstorm. Another was due to some other weather-related issue. One was due to a steering issue. 1956 due to war. And then again in 1967. Then it was closed from 1967 to 1975. Oh. So it was closed for a little bit of a period due to some other tension over there. And then from 75 forward, it's only been shut down a few times, but almost every incident was because of mechanical failure. And they were able to clear it up in a couple days. But this one, man, they're still projecting, months and months, or weeks and weeks.
Weeks and months and weeks and months. Yeah, well, the whole thing, it seems so, I don't know. I mean, it's just a little bit weird. I got to say, it's just there's a little bit of weirdness going on about that. For sure, but don't you think?
Correct. The boat was flying a Panamanian flag.
Yeah, and they did draw a little picture before that, which we covered on Thursday, which I thought was really, really amazing.
All right.
But anyway, so John Doe, since you asked for it, man, let's just do a little preview here. Let's do a little bit of a preview here. So there you go. There is the. Hang on. There it is.
Oh, whoa!
There's the official. So you can see the. So there's the front. You can see they'll be on the chain live on one. You have the other on the chain right there. So this is a water bottle that I'll be switching out this one pretty shortly, right? So that'll be the official OTC water bottle. And then we have this one as well. Boom. Which is it's got that on the one side. It's got the logo. So this is just like one of those stainless tumblers, kind of like a Yeti type of deal. And then here we go. This is the official Ripple SEC Wars. Ripple Strikes Back. We actually did this on. We put a video out, and originally it was just it said Star Wars, and then we changed it to SEC Wars. Ripple Strikes Back. So it's kind of like in the vein of the Empire Strikes Back, and then just really kind of and each one of them kind of nice, just a little just smidgen of a taste, right? So we're doing a little bit tasteful, not giant logos and craziness. And here's another one. I can't be 100% sure, but I think it's magic. That's XRP for you. And then here we go again on the back of the hoodie, just a
thank
little.
you, Tony Fisk.
Yeah, thank you, Tony. Which we'll have one when he's in here. We'll have to send him one of these as well. Yeah, the Bearable Bull I've heard was a little bit under the weather. I guess was in Miami. I heard today that he was under the weather. Hadn't been putting out videos, but that he's getting better. That's the word that I heard, and I don't know if you guys can confirm in there in the chat. But anyway, you'll be able to buy this, and so you can see that anything that you can get, there's a whole bunch of different things that go along with that. Like you can get a mug.
What else? Show the there you go, the mug with on the chain. That's pretty sweet.
So you have that on one side, you got the on the chain logo on the other. So a lot of these things, look at this, check it out. What about an OTC, an XRP face mask? That'll spark some conversations right there. So there's a whole bunch of different things that, let me just make that a little bit bigger. So, men's tees, eco hoodies. So some of these are a little more expensive just because they're better, they're better crafted. Suppose you want to, suppose you want to get one of these tote bags, so a lot of cool stuff. Women's shirts, sweatshirts, all kinds of stuff there.
But what about the leggings? That was real sweet. What do we? Oh, we did that with the OTC logo, and we're gonna come up with other stuff like that.
Yeah,
we'll have other shirt.
We'll have a whole bunch of stuff there. So there you go. There'll be a whole bunch of stuff. I don't know. I'm trying to think of where we had that. I'm not sure.
Which one was the logo?
It was the logo.
Just the OTC logo.
I'm not sure where that is, Jeff. I'll have to look for it. Anyway, let's get on with the content, as they say. Rob McDermott, thank you very much. Go ahead, throw it up there.
There you go. Forward to supporting. Man, you're awesome.
Forward to supporting the show. That's awesome, Rob. Yeah, Rob was great, man. It was really great seeing you at the meetup today and hanging with you for a while, man. Bright individual, man. It's like bringing up so many cool stuff. I just like to be able to talk freely.
Look at that, Matt LaRoche. There's another. That's a good one right there.
That's great, Matt. That's a very, very well said.
Put that one down in the merch ideas.
Yeah, that's a good one. I'll throw that in the keep right now. That's a good one. Hang on a second. Let me throw that in the keep. That's solid. I'm going to put Matt LaRoche in there too. Credit's due.
Women's shirts. We do have women's shirts. We went through, picked out women's shirts, women's sweatshirts.
I wanted to get it exactly.
Oh wait, hang on. Where'd it go?
Was it Clayton?
Hang on. Where'd it go?
No.
Hang on. I know it's here somewhere. How come I can't see it? Where did it go? Sorry, there it is. There you go.
Yeah, got it.
You got it?
Yep.
Nice. Wouldn't. Yeah.
Perfection.
You got Ripple boat water.
Watch the water. Watch the water. Keep an eye on the water. There was the Jar Jar Binks of the financial world. Yeah, he sure is. Totally nailed it. Well, being a Star Wars fan, it's like I did that cool graphic for the one just for one video, and I was like, it's kind of Jeff's like, hey man, why don't we put that on like a shirt? I was like, man, now you're thinking. That was kind of fun. Something to do on a shirt. So check this out. I wanted to throw this little story up here, just kind of like to get things off to a start. We talked about Charles Hoskinson on here too a little bit today during the meetup. I want to throw this up there. Exploring NFTs, the heart of the Alonzo hard fork. Obviously, Charles Hoskinson is the Cardano's founder. He shared his interest in the NFTs on his latest live stream, sharing ideas that will matter. He said, while Cardano's Project Catalyst currently has around 6 NFT marketplaces looking for funding at this time, Hoskinson shared that his interest in providing financial and tech support to these projects is kind of beyond the scope of the funding project to boost their development. And he did this in a little bit of a live stream. So he said, as NFTs continue to gather global attention in crypto and mainstream media, the integration of NFT capabilities could prove attractive for developers. And so everyone's diving into it. And I tweeted out something earlier today. I don't know if you guys saw it, but last night on Saturday Night Live, they did a skit where Pete Davidson it was Janet Yellen. I don't know did you see it? I don't think we can play it here because I think we'll probably get some kind of a strike. but I can throw the tweet in there. But it was so Janet Yellen was speaking at some university. Janet Yellen was doing her little speech, and they said, and everyone was like just like this, like just totally passed out. And they said, "You have a question?" It was Pete Davidson. He was dressed up like Robin from Batman. And if you guys remember the Eminem video, all of a sudden the beat laid down, and he started going off and started doing a whole rap thing on NFTs and cryptocurrency and stuff. So it's like now the entire world has been exposed to this. So it's pretty good. James Rule, man. Every time I'm gonna hit it, you hit it. It's like what? By the way, I gotta stop sharing my screen. I am going bananas over here.
You're going crazy over there
with the browser thing again. Man, they got a problem with this thing.
XRP pizza.
Yeah, so
pizza
he's
grocery YouTube tip guy.
So a little story behind that. So James Rule tweeted out today. Someone says you'll be forever known as the like the pizza guy, right? And I said, hell no. I mean, James is way better than the BTC pizza guy. That guy only got a pizza. James gets whatever the hell he wants with his MasterCard. Like he can buy like tens of thousands of millions of different things. So he's kind of one up the BTC pizza guy. So I think we have to come up with a new name for that, James. We can't say the XRP pizza grocery. We got to say the XRP. Buy all things. I don't know. Buy the entire world. I don't know. Something like that.
James, the XRP guy.
John Doe got the $9.99 less than 10 challenge going tonight. Show some support this evening for the show. The work these guys put in. Show some love. Yeah, appreciate that, John. Thank you very much. Really appreciate that. And yeah. I mean, what we appreciated was like this getting together with you guys today was just phenomenal. Yep, Hollywood was there. Yep, he was there in full force, man. He was there just to match the wide tube, just the tip guy. That's James Rule. Guy. It's cool hanging out with Hollywood too. Yeah, it was cool hanging out with XRP Hollywood because, and sometimes you guys like pull a fast one on us. So I'm like, all right, what is your YouTube name? And he's like, oh, I'm Hollywood. I was like, oh, okay, because he uses his name. But one of the things we do about these meetups, the same way if we met in person, you're not going to sit there and start like shooting it on your phone like, hey, okay, go ahead, Hollywood, say something. Okay, Apex, say something. You wouldn't do that. So that's why we don't record them. That's why anybody can say whatever. You can speak the way you speak. You can drop F-bombs. You can do whatever you want. You're free to be who you are, say what you want to say. And that's really how these meetups go. And there's some colorful language today. I'm not gonna say that there wasn't, which I really appreciate.
There you go, James Rule, the great XRP spender.
That's even better. The great XRP spender, Mr. K.
Great XRP.
I did see
spender.
Mr. K in there for briefly today. Did you see Mr. K in there at all?
Mr. K was there. I think so.
Mr. K, I thought I saw him like dip in there for a second. Newbie, how to tip on YouTube? Seriously, I have no idea. That's well, I'll let you guys discuss how to do that in the chat. You guys can show, but it's kind of, I always do it on, when I tip, I always do it on mobile. I find it's a lot easier on mobile, especially because
on the app.
You don't know how to do it on the app. I've never done it on.
No, never done it on the computer.
No, I've never done it either.
Easy on the app, yeah.
It is too, because especially if you have the face thing built into it. Like it wants to confirm it, it like reads your face or the biometrics reads your thumb. And I'm like, I try to do it once on the desktop and it's like log in or do that. I'm like, oh, forget it, man. It's like, because it's done through Google Pay.
Oh, wait. Trying to hit the right ones and every time I go to click something, the next one bounces up. So here we go. He was there. So he got too late. It was getting late. It was awesome. We're gonna do another one, and one of the things that we took out of the meetup was that we're going to start offering these educational sessions as well. So we'll roll that out and kind of give more of an explanation later on how we're going to start putting those together. There's a lot that really could be offered, so we're really excited about that. So hey, let's Chip, let's dig into some of these John Deaton tweets.
Let's go for it.
I don't know if you had something there you were about to pull up.
Yeah, I was gonna pull one thing up, just something that I thought it's kind of more like a funny thing. But there's a crypto user modified an old school Game Boy to mine Bitcoin. So it's like YouTubers. YouTuber Stack Smash and estimated his rig would take a couple of quadrillion years to mine a Bitcoin. It's like, because the Game Boy doesn't have that much mining power, but if you factor in a couple quadrillion years, you're getting closer to that, maybe potentially mining it. It's funny. I like just like silly things, silly stories like this. It really has nothing to do with anything, but something like that can make the news, right? So there you go.
Sweet.
Go ahead. Let's dive
awesome.
into the Dean tweets. I think that's really important stuff.
All right, so let's go to the first one. Let's pop this up here. So I think this is a great place to start. Where he's, this came out. He posted this. When was the 25th? On Friday. I don't even know what today is, but it was last week. But all leaders involved in cryptocurrencies and digital assets should read the 74 pages of the March 19th hearing. And here he's saying the SEC enforcement has not made a material distinction between ETH, BTC, and XRP. And then you get into the SEC's attorney's comments, and you have the transcript. We don't have to get into all of that, but I think one of the things that he's pointing out is that they are tying it together. And I think we brought this up multiple times on the show as well, is that although the SEC may have, they may have made at least some statements on Bitcoin and Ethereum, that still isn't scripted law. It's not on the books. They can still change their mind, and it puts kind of everybody in a very precarious position. It's still not something that's been adjusted and identified through legislation. And so I think, what he's referencing here, if they're not making a material distinction, that's good and bad, right? Because it's good because you said that Bitcoin and Ethereum are currency and not securities. So that means that XRP wouldn't be a security. However, one of the things that he brings up here, and Chip, what are your thoughts on that?
Well, I just saw this from Apex Thinking. Tony from Thinking Crypto just dropped a John Deaton interview. So that's pretty cool. I'll look forward to watching that. I appreciate the heads up on that, Apex. Yeah. Well, I gotta say, we kind of talked about it here when it happened, when everyone was like going hashtag relist XRP. I'm like, I understand what he's talking about. This whole thing, the distinction between Bitcoin and ETH. He's going on about the whole thing about saying like there wasn't clear distinction. Hinman was at like some conference sponsored by Yahoo or something like that, and it just rolled off his tongue. Yeah, ETH and Bitcoin, not securities, right? It wasn't like it was like hearsay, really. I mean, it's not the same as getting some regulation or clarity around it, and they're all like walking around beating their chest like, you see, ETH. Not a security. See? And then the SEC is like, we've been doing some thinking, and those mining pools for Bitcoin. I mean, they kind of like And then I go back in time because once they start looking for all the stuff, I think especially. What conversations did you have? And John Deaton's right, man. They didn't come out and say, is it like there's no rule there? I mean, there's like, let's look through the SEC's official crypto user guidebook. Yep, right there, Jeff. It says Hinman mentioned BTC and ETH at a conference. No.
Where are you looking?
I was doing a hypothetical. Like if you were to look at there's no guidebook. You see, there's no SEC like crypto guidebook.
No,
there
nothing.
it is. I mean, there's nothing.
Look what he said. Look what he said here. The SEC attorney again said, well, the key distinction between Bitcoin and ETH is there's a group of people that the people that are selling the assets into the market and telling people we're going to create value. And that's it. So, I like how John Dean says the weakest alleged distinction that I've heard anyone make, and that includes Jay Clayton, Ripple and the defendant's efforts and their stated promised efforts to develop a use for XRP is what makes XRP a security. That is at the core of what makes something a security under the Howey test. And then John says, reread that statement. Now ask yourself, can the core definition be applied to other digital assets? The SEC's documents, emails, letters, and memos between the SEC and other entities like the CFTC and within the SEC are absolutely essential. I like how he's breaking all this up, because one of the things we've said from the start is that this case isn't necessarily just SEC v Ripple. This is SEC v versus the cryptocurrency community at large, and everybody is on notice because the SEC is a wild card. It's like the Wild West with them over there.
Yeah, and basically the only way we get any little tidbits is completely the enforcement part of it, and they've totally neglected their let's protect the investor first. So I think this is one of the things too. Even in that last hearing when Tenura was asked, when they talked about the whole Section 5, Section 4 thing, and that was when the whole thing like relist XRP. And then it's funny because we do have a story here semi-related to that, where okay, somebody took the relist XRP official sort of like challenge, and it's like remember those things? What was that thing where you dumped a bucket of water over your head? Remember, everyone was issuing a challenge, like on every CEO had to do it. So now it's like relist XRP scores ago, shoots, he scores. This is the first exchange that will relist XRP, and then we're like, oh my God, Jeff, what is it? Is it Coinbase? Is it Kraken? What is it, Jeff? There it is. Leaky. I don't even know how you say that. I don't even know what that is. I'll be honest with you. I mean, maybe you guys know that.
Did they delist it?
They did. I didn't even know they existed, to be honest with you. I was like,
I don't know who they are.
Cryptocurrency. They're based out of Switzerland. The first exchange that they decided to relist XRP, and you're like, yay, we got one, Jeff. And it's like, wait a minute. First of all,
it's a regional exchange.
Yeah, but I didn't even know about them. Well, here's the weird thing about it. It's like, okay, they're based in Switzerland. They're outside of the SEC's sort of purview anyway. So what were they even worried about? I mean, there was no real cause for alarm. It's not like the SEC, well, we'll come get you. Well, we'll go fly across the pond and we'll round you up. It's like they don't have any jurisdiction in Switzerland. The SEC. None. I mean, so it's weird that they even delisted it in the first place. But they did get a little bit of publicity because they relisted it. Sounds very strategic in nature. And look at this statement.
And you can't access their platform without signing up.
Oh, that's nice. And then we're thrilled to relist XRP. Bridge the gap in traditional finance with the new world of blockchain is our mantra. Oh, and being the fact that we're in Europe, we had no reason to delist it, but we got a nice publicity pump for relisting it. So I don't know.
Dude, you can't go into I'm trying to go to their site. You can't go in without signing up. I don't get it.
Yeah,
I want to see buy, sell, invest.
Yeah, so what does this have to do with a European exchange? That's weird, right? I don't know. So Jeff, go ahead and share your screen. I want to see what you got there.
Oh, you want to see this?
I want to see it because I've never actually seen it before.
So they have something called the Open Initiative. Be part of the solution. Is funding 4 initiatives which aim at addressing the consequences of the current pandemic. What is the initiative about? So it's just an initiative. It doesn't have anything really to do with their
Where's
digital.
The exchange?
So you can't get to it. So when you click on it, it just brings you to you have to sign up. No, they have an exchange. You just have to sign up for it before they let you see it. It's secretive.
And if there's somebody that can help us pronounce that, I'm sure it's not it's probably like leaky or likey or something. I don't know. It's probably some other.
Well, here we go. We can go to the Pocket one. Bring digital investment. I mean, I'm sure it's pretty cool. I like, they got nice pictures. They all sorts of cool stuff.
It's looks pretty modern looking type.
What I like is that, man, look at that. We'd have to dig into these addresses a little bit and actually see where they are. But Swiss address, some of those exchanges that are based over in Singapore are operating out of a Regis with a virtual office, not even an actual rented office space, just virtual. So here, at least they're in Switzerland. I've been there. I've been to Zug. That's a kind of cool place. I wonder. We'll have to look that one up. But anyhow, it looks like they probably do more than just crypto, bridging the gap between traditional finance and blockchain. So it's kind of cool. You say get started, and then it brings you back to the sign up. So you got to sign up for them. But could be cool. But yeah, I don't understand. Why would they delist? Oops, you're looking at my notes. Looking at
saw your
my
notes,
merch
Joe.
notes. Did you see all my merch notes?
I did see a couple of them. Yes, I did. I did notice that.
Those are secretive merch notes.
Speaking
Not really.
of one. So this is what we've been complaining about forever and a day. Deaton tweets, Mac Attack said, hey, the Ripple lawsuit, court compels SEC to produce Bitcoin, Ethereum documentation as non-securities. And then Deaton's like, my God, do any of the crypto journalists get anything right? Most misleading title I've seen in recent memory. And they all seem to be worse than each one gets worse and worse. It's like sometimes you read this stuff and you'll be like, okay, listen, I'm not a genius. Well, I don't know what the hell that journalist is talking to. It's like all kinds of clickbaity stuff, and then they take stuff out of context, and they just start. It's almost like that. Like they have to get this stuff done fast and get it posted. But a lot of times, it's completely just completely off the beaten path, man. It's just some weird, crazy stuff. Let's talk about this Fidelity.
Hey, Tony Fisk is here. Hey, pull up the shirt real quick.
I'm gonna pull the shirt up, Tony. You got one of these. We got to send this to you. You got to let us know if you want like a hoodie, or let me pull one up. Hang on a second. Let me find it, Tony. So you are the. Oh, what the heck? I'm gonna pull up the. Here we go. Well, I'll pull up a hoodie. Why not? So anyway, we were talking about a merch store, Tony, and your name came up obviously because we wanted to be able to share this puppy. Bam. Let's go share. And there we go. There it is. There's the hoodie, the official hoodie that you can buy. Can't be 100% sure, but I think it's magic. That's XRP for you. So that's the front of the hoodie, in the back just got a little on the chain logo, which is kind of cool. And then we also put it on some other stuff too. Like you can get like one of these like gear bags, and well, here's a woman's shirt right here, kind of like tasteful and not that baggy guy shirt that doesn't fit well and looks like something you found on like, I don't know, the floor somewhere. Even this one here, this is woman's premium V-neck. But yeah, we put that on a bunch of different stuff. And then what else do we have here? We have also the, we got it on here, like one of these cool tumblers. Maybe you want one of these tumblers, you throw it on there.
That's stainless, right?
Stainless steel, man. That's some stainless. And then we got a really traditional, like Lord, looks like more like a milk bottle. But yeah, there you go. It's got the On the Chain logos on there. It's got the On the Chain live on the back. So that's like, a cool little water bottle. You can drink some water. But yeah, anyway, we just want to show that to you in case you missed it earlier. Maybe you saw it. Maybe you didn't.
Oh, here's another one. Wait a minute. Hang on. Let me go to that one first.
XRP, I told you so. Yeah, XRP, I told you so. Have you guys ever taken a look at the DOS network? No, but I remember DOS from the early days, which was the early PC days. No, I don't know the DOS network. Why don't you write that down, Jeff? Let's take a peek at that.
I did. Yep,
oh, did you? Okay. Very good. Nice. Check it out. Might be something good worth checking, worth looking into.
It might be. All right. So back to John. So, man, here you go. More enforcement stuff. If the movements want to advance the argument that they are investors, the SEC will make that argument. Well, there was something here. Here we go. The SEC claims that if the judge lets XRP holders intervene, she will be forced to allow the XRP investors that sued Ripple in a class action claiming that Ripple sold XRP as an unregistered security. This is nonsense because we aren't arguing that against Ripple. In fact, we argue the opposite, that XRP is not a security, and therefore those other investors that sued Ripple have no similar position or interest as us. The SEC doesn't want to sin. They want to argue that XRP has no utility even today. They've already said it on record. Thoughts?
Spot on. It's just more of this. It's a little bit more of the same, but no, he's calling it straight up, and it's like I can't wait for this thing to even progress because it's turning into such a crap show here. I mean, it really is. And you know who's coming out smelling like roses? Not the SEC. There's a lot of stuff being flung at them right now, and man, like I said, I've always been pretty excited about this lawsuit. A lot of people don't see it that way. I'm excited about it, Jeff. I think lay it all out. go in guns a-blazing, man. They've got amazing representation between Ripple, and who knows? I mean, Garlinghouse and Larson, they may be able to dismiss those two, some kind of a dismissal. We'll see what happens. We will see what happens. But man, I got the popcorn. It's always ready to go. And man, it's just like, just sit back and eat some popcorn, Jeff. Enjoy the show.
Hey, here's something else here. There's been a lot of conversation about Bitcoin and the digital asset space kind of going away, just disappearing. In fact, over in Turkey, they're getting more and more involved in digital assets. They're putting money into stable coins, mainly because they're seeking a place where their money will still exist. Something they did down in Venezuela. But from an investment perspective, Fidelity is getting ready to launch a Bitcoin ETF. I mean, how amazing is that? So here you have Wise Origin Bitcoin Trust will aim to match an index that takes spot prices from various Bitcoin markets. I think that's exciting. I mean, that's, through to have it through Fidelity. Unveiled plans Wednesday to launch an ETF that tracks the price of Bitcoin, furthering the money manager's push to bring crypto to mainstream finance. And that's what it takes, mainstream. You got Fidelity, you've got Morgan Stanley, you've got JP Morgan, you've got a whole host of them that are moving in this direction.
Man.
What?
Yeah. No, there was a story that I was looking at here, and I really thought it was like, I don't know if you really
was a little off.
Yeah, because I was like responding to something else. Yeah, the whole thing is like, yeah, man, whatever. Anywho, I just didn't believe it. It's like, did you guys know that cassette tape sales doubled during the pandemic?
Nice.
Yeah, check it out. Like, I thought this was some kind of a weird article. I was like, man, when was the last time you used a cassette, Jeff? But check this out right here. They say, against the backdrop of a pandemic that has done damage to the music industry, 2020 could be justifiably called the year of the cassette. What?
Sweet. I don't even know where you can get cassettes. I
didn't even know they stole them anymore.
Yeah, how do you even play them? What are you going to put it in?
I don't know. It's like they sold 156,000 were sold in the UK, Jeff. 156,000.
Yeah, well, that's the UK.
I mean, I got into a little Twitter spat today with somebody.
Portable boombox.
About the UK.
What? Oh, I don't know, man. I don't get it. I have no idea.
Does that seem awkward as hell to you? I mean, my God.
You can get a record player. I've seen the turntables, and you can connect the turntable up to an amp and play it through your speakers.
My daughter plays all my Beatles albums through. She has a turntable in her bedroom, and
Sweet.
Here's the weird thing about that, right? So there's a time when I can remember. I'm old enough to remember the time where, I played records, and then there was 8-tracks, and then there was like cassettes, and then there were CDs, and then there was digital, right? She loves buying albums. I'm like, we fixed that. We solved that problem. Like that's done, right? We already have digital stuff. And her next big thing, like she takes thousands of photos on her camera, on her phone. But you know what she loves? Loves disposable cameras. She gets so excited about taking all these pictures, and then she'll go drop it off, and then it'll get developed.
A disposable camera. Didn't even know you could buy them.
I didn't know it either, but apparently you go to Walmart and they have a whole film department still that you can. And so it's always funny because it reminds me, hey, what's up, Jason? Jason was there too, man. Dropping some knowledge.
Long on popcorn and cassettes.
Thank you for that, man.
Awesome,
that is awesome.
That's great. Hey, Chip, this is the best comment ever. Jeff, so that lawsuit is crazy. What do you think, Chip? Sets.
Yeah, I get a little lost sometimes. Sorry, man. I was just like, I got a little bit.
I was talking about Fidelity. I was talking about Fidelity issuing an ETF with Bitcoin.
ETF. I mean, I love it.
You're tied up in cassettes that's hilarious.
I don't know. It just sounded so bizarre to me. That's right. I mean, sometimes I get, it's like squirrel, and I'll be like going chasing it, So what are you gonna do?
But the cassette is a bizarre thing. That's hilarious. Happens. That's really funny. That should be a shirt right there.
Cassettes. Hey, that lawsuit's crazy. What do you think, Chip? Cassettes. By the way, if you want to get if you want to be 100% correct there, it was like, Chip, what do you think about Fidelity's ETF? And I'm like, Cassettes. Fidelity's ETF, what do you think about that? Man, I think it's phenomenal. But you know what? I remember when I had Fidelity, I would talk to them. And then, we obviously moved providers, but it was like, guys, you guys going to offer any cryptocurrencies? We will stay with the traditional funds. We will not go. I'm like, but I know, but you're everything's limited. And they're like, I mean, I liked Fidelity there were some things I really liked about Fidelity. But I actually wish I was still with Fidelity. I have something that's not good at all, which is even worse than Fidelity. And I didn't think that was possible, but look, having a whole ETF, it just raises the bar. And then it also says, what about Dalio? What about
what's going on with Dalio? And what about this? So not that I'm a big fan of the Soros fund management group, but
yes,
Bitcoin at inflection point as fiat debasement rises. Soros fund management CIO Don Fitzpatrick said the private investment fund is putting money into the cryptocurrency infrastructure because they love the Bitcoin. So if they love the Bitcoin, Fidelity loves the Bitcoin, Morgan Stanley loves the Bitcoin. What is Ray Dalio talking about? I mean, there's always got to be a hater in the crowd. There's always one. And then Chip, check this out. So at the very same moment, Bitcoin can reach $400,000 in 2021 as risk-off reserve asset on Bloomberg, right? So now they're looking at 8x from current prices, says Bloomberg Intelligence. I love how they say that. I don't know who that would be within Bloom, but it's Bloomberg Intelligence. So they wrote it, so it must be so. Oh, here we go. March 25th, Mike McLawn, senior commodity strategist at Bloomberg Intelligence, said that this year marked a watershed moment for the largest crypto. 400,000 BTC would rhyme with history.
No, I like that. That's a nice little subhead there.
And this dwarfs other estimates, such as that of stock to flow, which calls for an average of 288,000 between now and 2024. So Bitcoin rhyme, 2013, 17 peaks at about 400, but there you go. It just keeps growing and growing. But this is what some of the key experts are talking about. That's why all these other conversations. So you can look at all these experts. I'm not saying Ray Dalio doesn't have an opinion and the guy's not brilliant in what he's done, but just because he's Ray Dalio also doesn't mean that he's right. So we really have to.
There's a squirrel. I gotta go check it out, Jeff. He's just saying that's what. Oh, he's making fun of me. I got you. Okay, just checking there. No, you're absolutely right.
1,000 BTC cassettes. Well,
it also rhymes with success. It rhymes with freedom. It rhymes with money. It rhymes with so many things. I love that whole idea of it rhymes with something. What was that again? It rhymes. What was it? What they call it? It rhymes with. I threw all those other little modifiers in there, so I wanted to see what they actually called it. But by the way, Ray Dalio is at it again, Jeff, and I just want to let you know.
What are you doing now? What's his next?
We're gonna have to call him. And the keep, I put a little note in there, Debbie Downer Dalio. Downer Dalio comes in again, and look at this new one. Ray Dalio says there's a bubble that's halfway to the magnitude of 1929 or 2000. Oh, okay. There you go. Thanks, man. Great. That's good to know. What
about 2008?
Well, that's what he's basically, yeah.
Yeah.
But he's saying by our measures, the bubble's not what it was in 2000, not what it was in 1929. It's kind of like halfway there. Oh, so was he kind of semi-walking that back? You're right. I mean, what about 2008? What about, 1987? We had a Black Monday.
Big one.
Right. We had a big one, a big bust. But, growing fears of the bubble, blah, blah, blah. And oh, my gosh. And, okay, yeah, I do. Yeah, rhymes with cassette. There you go. Those rhyme with cassettes. There you go, Andrew. Beautifully well said. Well said. Yes, bravo. Yeah, so he's all over the place. So what's next on his agenda? Banks are going to fail. That could happen, by the way. So I think you might be right about that.
No, man. That's right.
Banks are going to fail. Governments are going to fail. It's like I just want to hear something positive out of Ray.
Norseman, what's the deal with Coinbase depositing 8.9 million? What?
I thought there was some deposits going for XRP. That's what I thought I saw. I saw a tweet about it earlier today on the crypto Twitter. Yeah, there's a lot of people are, wondering about a lot of different things that could be potentially happening with all of this stuff. Wooden Boat says, I remember buying replacement TV and radio tubes from a tester machine at the pharmacy. Wow, man. Thank you, Wooden Boat. Appreciate that. By the way, man, never criticize a wooden boat.
That's huge.
That's huge.
I didn't even know you could do that.
Yeah. Yeah. And I remember Radio Shack. Remember that, Jeff?
Oh, Radio Shack was cool. You could go into Radio Shack and they had all sorts of Radio Shack stuff.
The funny thing is, it just went out of business like a year ago. And I was like, wait a minute. Didn't it go out of business like 26 years ago or something like that?
No, when was that? They closed all their stores back in like 2010?
No, it was like a year and a half ago, maybe. It was very recently. Maybe you guys can look that up and see. But I think it was more recent than that, maybe in the 3 to 5 years. Because there was one that was open. I was like shocked. I was like, it could be like 10 years by now, but still, it outlived.
Wow.
I mean, radios like had their heyday in like the 50s and 60s, and they kind of just went, guys, I think we should have a name change. No, we're sticking with Radio Shack. I know, but we do so much more. We sell, but no, we're sticking with Radio Shack. I know, but people might get a little bit sort of off put by the name. It was always fun
walking around. They'd have walkie-talkies, and then they have power strips.
Tons of cables and little,
lots of cables.
Converter cables and stuff.
That was great. Like pre-Amazon, where would you go if you had to get stuff for your TV? Go to Radio Shack. Go browse around and figure out what type of cable you needed. If you need speaker cables or whatever.
Nothing.
No, Best Buy, it's still limited.
That's why
you got to go to Amazon. No,
everything's on Amazon, man. The best thing, anything you really want to get
crap on there.
Yeah, no, you got to wonder too where you're gonna buy that stuff from. So, because I never know who's actually selling that stuff. You never know.
I got a cool Sonos speaker. I was looking on Amazon. I was looking all over for the Sonos for the surround sound thing, the whatever that's called underneath the TV. So I had to go to Costco.
Oh, Costco, yeah. I like Costco. I prefer Costco over BJ's, but I go to both. I go to BJ's because it's closer. Look at this. Here's a cool treat. So Pack Protocol put this Pack Protocol and Go Gala Games, or Gala Games as we know them, are proud to announce a cooperative node exchange program where we can run each other's nodes to increase decentralization. Now your game assets with Gala will be distributed across Pack's powerful and secure node network. And I like any kind of partnerships that increase decentralization. These are always going to be positive things. And I think we're going to start seeing more of this as a trend, right? So it's kind of an interesting one because they're leveraging the nodes to be able to just decentralize even further. And I think last time I heard, there was something like 16,000 master nodes. It could probably be higher than that right now for, that are on the Pack network. But this is cool stuff, man.
I'm really excited about the Gala Games. I'm excited about what crypto, NFTs, and smart contracts and everything else are going to be doing in the gaming industry. To me, once they really get into the gaming industry, the sky's the limit. It's going to blow up because all these games already have asset, right? They already have money in game money. They have, and you have to pay for it, and everyone has its own money. And look at Fortnite. Fortnite had to battle it out with both Google and with Apple over their stores because of how they sell money and sell things, on their own, basically through their own app, through their own platform. Man, it's just a matter of time. You bring it all together into one. It's going to be exciting.
Yeah, and one of the things we learned today too from Crypto Eddie was she was talking a little bit about a tweet that was put out there. I think it was Santiago, I forget his last name, Velez, I think it was. He put it out there about potential interview where we was talking about, who was it, Gala? Were you in that room at the time? One of you guys can represence that in the chat there, those that were in that room sitting at that table at the time. But there's so many cool things that are coming up, especially what we know from, let's say, Flare. I mean, man, things are about to change. 2021 is going to usher in, obviously it'll be the year of the NFTs, but I think it's going to be the year of potential DeFi and bringing a lot of stuff and maybe weaning some people off those high gas fees that are presently over there on Ethereum And the fact that Flare will be interoperable with Ethereum is going to be just massive. So I think what we're going to find is we're going to start seeing a lot of other builders coming into the space and building around Flare. That excites me. It's not like one company. We're doing this. No, they're building an ecosystem where you have, FTSOs on there building. All these people are coming in. We're going to be bringing somebody on in April, another sort of one of these type of projects that's going to be up in the game even further. We had some preliminary, they've agreed to kind of come on the show, I think the second week of April. So this is more stuff around the XRP ecosystem and more stuff. And I'm like, I got really excited about this project. So Jeff and I have been talking to him a little bit about coming on the show, sending over a rep because we want to be able to inform you guys and we all learn together. So that's going to be something that's going to be coming up in the future. Excited about that. Pat Prague says, Pat was there today as well. Pat says the year of the cassettes. That is the year of cassettes. That was actually 2020, but you never know, man. This might be the year of the 8-track. I mean, I hated those 8-tracks because they were like, they had 4 channels. So like if you were in the middle of a song and wanted to replay it, you had to like flip through that thing a few times to like hear something else and flip back. You couldn't rewind it. Man, what bad tech was that?
I remember the 8-track in my mother's car. We were driving across country. She had the 8-track, plug it in.
But you know what I'm talking about? Like you had to click it a few times, listen to something else, then click back to the channel. It was very strange, man.
I don't remember. But you know what's cool about those old cars? You turn on the radio and you had the big button to tune the radio. You know, it wasn't just just go and seek. You had to push that button. And if you wanted to set it, you had to pull the button out and then push it back in to set it.
Yeah, Network's pretty cool. I saw, do you see Bags did a video with Network? That was really cool stuff, man. I really think this is a cool project, this Network. These 3D worlds and stuff. And Tony Fisk, that is in the works, man. I've got some ideas about minting some NFTs. I really want to do it. Jeff and I have talked about it, but I think we really want to kind of do it on the right ecosystem. You know, right now, XRPL is not really ready for prime time, although there's a lot of conversation around it, or it'll transpire and happen on Flare. But just because we really are into the use case, I think that it makes more sense to maybe hold off a little bit because there's all these other platforms that basically use Ethereum, and I really don't want to task people with these high. There you go, right there. Yeah, Solana is killing it right now. Yeah, because of Ethereum's delay, right? And they're taking so advantage of that. The fact that I don't even know if I'm a non-believer now that Ethereum's ever going to get to 2.0. I mean, they keep pushing it back, and Solana's cleaning up, man. They're just like mopping the floor with them, man. That's a really good observation, Cameron. Wait a minute. Oscar says, a little nervous about Flare. I want to be on top of everything when it launches. Don't want to miss that rocket. I don't necessarily think you're going to miss the rocket. I don't think it's like one of these things where you're going to miss it per se, but I think it's going to roll out in little troughs. It's not going to be like they're going to flip a switch and it's going to be little bits and pieces of it. But the ecosystem is growing and it's going to continue to grow. And it's cool because we're now just entering Q2, which we know Flare, Flare launched, they completed Costin 1. Now they officially launched Costin 2. Crypto Eddie did a cool video on it where she connects to it, and that's the beta as well. But I think what's going to happen, at least I'm guessing, one of the things we talked about today was this whole idea of usability, right? For developers, they love building complex tools. Well, you just click this and do that, and boop, 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 boop. But a human goes like, that doesn't really work for me. Like, what do you do? So I think people will probably build smarter interfaces, maybe coupled with a little bit of AI in there, so you can use it, right? So it's a screen, and you go on there and you click a few things, and a lot of things are built into it. Yeah, you might connect a wallet, you might connect some other things to it, but being able to use it, because some of the stuff that I've seen in the videos, Flare community, he puts out great videos as well, and he does an amazing job with them. But I somehow wonder, Jeff, like, is there going to be something, right now it's hypothetical. Yeah, I put in another smashing video out today. It's really turning out excellent content. But I wonder about this whole Flare network, Jeff. What are your thoughts about, like, how do you think Flare is going to launch, and what do you think, what this is a legitimate concern? Are people worried that they're going to miss it or not totally 100% understand it?
I think that's a problem in the DeFi space in general. I mean, there's a lot of projects that are coming out as you're talking about, and are they going to miss it? I don't think they're going to miss it, because once it does launch, then you can still, you still have an opportunity to buy a Spark token, so you don't necessarily miss the boat. We have no idea what the valuation of the Spark token is going to be, so they preempted giving everybody an opportunity to get in. So anybody that had XRP before whatever the trigger date was, where they took the snapshot, then they're giving people Spark token to get the ecosystem set up and support people within the XRP community that we're already in. But moving forward after that, people are still going to be able to take advantage. But I think we also have to differentiate Flare Network from Flare Finance, because they're two separate organizations. So I think as we look through those, there's a lot of similar Flare finances. Flare Network is going to be different in terms of its functionality. So here's another one that I just pulled up. I was reading something on about audits, and I ended up stumbling on this one called bonded accelerated or bonded finance, and they have crypto loans, bonded index, they have a line of credit, and then they have the bonded synthetic ether. So I think we're starting to see this space, this DeFi space, is expanding, and everybody's having their Me Too moment, that they all have something similar. Loans, index, which is loans against a pool of weighted assets in this case. The line of credit, which we saw Ripple, going after. All these things are in the really geared up towards the B2B space also, as well as the personal space. But we're seeing more and more of that. Which project kicks off? Just like anything else, there's going to be a lot of room for all these projects. So Flare, bonded finance, Polkadot, I don't know. I mean, there's a whole bunch of them to choose from. Uniswap, you can get into Uniswap and then figure out your DeFi path from there.
This is a good comment here. Miss C says Vitalik should not have referred to our beloved XRP as an S coin. I agree with that, because I wouldn't think you're skating scot-free, especially all that went down there. Matt LaRoche says, I remember the pre-TV remote days. I was my parents' remote controller. Hey, go change the channel. Hey, change it to this, right? It was like flip the dial back and forth. Wooden Boat says, awesome. Hit the like. Thanks, guys. Good night. Really appreciate that, Wooden Boat. Appreciate your support. And Connie says, hit the like and the subscribe and the bell with notifiers so that you get notified when we go live. It's going to be another big week here. We're going to get a lot of cool news that's going to come out. We're venturing into some other projects, and it's coming down there. I remember buying some characters privately on Fortnite with massive counterparty risks of not getting the code or password for the account. An NFT would be easier, right? And I dealt with that with my daughter. I'm sure you went through that with your son. There's a lot of scammy sort of these. There is massive counterparty risk, because it's like, oh, send this over here and then we'll do that, and it's like, whoa. You can't. It is an NFT would solve a lot of those issues, and that's why it's going to be huge in gaming.
Oh yeah, the NFT stamps it off. It's authentic, but I think from an NFT perspective, it gets even more exciting, because like if you get a Beeple, imagine a Beeple designed whatever it is in your game, and now it's a one of a kind, because that's the only one, or it's a limited edition. So I think some of the games where that's relevant, Fortnite, it's relevant. A lot of them, Warzone, which is what is that one? Call of Duty. Then there's a lot of them. Rocket League, that'd be another great one. My son's heavily into Rocket League, but they're constantly changing their vehicles, and I've talked about it before, and it's costly. And there are third-party websites to go to, and there's one, it's a Chinese site, I'm sure, and they're just churning and burning, because I don't know, they've got guys that are constantly looking for certain items. And I remember we bought something, they're like, sorry, it's back ordered, we don't have it right now, stand by while we get it. I'm like, holy crap, how are you going to get this? And they're out there, I don't know how they're finding this stuff, but they're and they could have guys in the game, who knows, they have a whole crew of people just playing. I don't know what they do, but it's a big business. You do something unique. I love it, and I think this space is just getting heated up. So there's a lot of opportunity. If you miss Flare, there's going to be
Yeah,
you know, a ton of them right behind it. So you just got to, one of the things Chip and I have been talking about is that there are other projects out there and there are opportunities, you know, to throw in, you know, a couple bucks into something when it's just in its infancy, because a lot of us miss those infancy projects. But that's something that we'll probably end up talking about in our private sessions where we're doing the training and education that we talked about, because that's kind of like offline, more intimate, where you can hash out ideas and bring things, projects like that to the table, which we're planning on doing. But Chip, look what time it is. And this has been an outstanding roundtable. Yeah,
it was outstanding. Cameron says you guys on the West Coast. We're actually on the East Coast. Both of us are in Florida, and Jeff and I are about, I don't know, maybe about 30 minutes away from each other. With Jeff's driving, it's about 20 minutes apart, but it takes me about 30. Yeah, maybe 20. But if you take the turnpike, straight shot. Yep. Yeah, straight shot and everything. So yeah, I want to just thank everybody, first of all, for coming to the meetup today. Had an amazing time. We'll have another one. I like it because it's a great learning session. There's so many things unpacked today. It's like my head is still kind of blowing up a little bit, but yeah, we'll see you guys back. You know, we'll be back here tomorrow night through Thursday. And then Jeff will be back at it Saturday morning. We'll be back next Sunday at 8 p.m. Eastern time for the roundtable. Guys, thank you for your support of the channel. It means a lot to Jeff and I. It really does. And, you know, we really are, you know, humbled by that. So thank you a lot for that support.
Don't just make sure on your way out, make sure you guys hit the subscribe button. If you're brand new over here, hit the thumbs up, hit the bell notifier. That way you get notified every time we do stream live. And I'm looking forward to tomorrow night, because tomorrow night's another night right here exclusively on the chain.
On the chain. See you on the next one, guys. Take care. Have a good one. Be safe. Go out into the world and just frolic. Frolic and eat, breathe, and sleep crypto. Take care.
Are you down with OTC? Please like, subscribe, and click the bell to be notified when the next video drops.